Fort Langley is a charming little suburb of Vancouver, east of the main city along the Fraser River. But this fall, there's been a rash of break-and-enters in the community, and police don't seem to be doing enough about it. So on Christmas Eve, when I'm sure they would rather have been home stuffing their kids' stockings full of treats, 27 dads in small groups went out patrolling town to see if they could find who was responsible for the break-and-enters. And sure enough, about 10 to 1 in the morning, 3 of the dads who were patrolling together spotted a guy inside a locked florist shop who seemed to be up to no good. The guy got arrested. He appeared in court last week, and he's been charged with at least the break-and-enter of the florist shop. And now the dads are hopeful that their work on Christmas Eve, taking a break from the holiday cheer and celebration with their families, will lead to less crime in the community. But of course, there are politicians and community leaders who are appalled. Alarmed was the word they told the Vancouver Sun. Alarmed about this vigilantism. It could lead to violence, you know, they said to the newspaper. It could. And I'm not real big on citizens taking the law into their own hands, although we do have that right. The very fact that we have professional police now, that we have full-time courts, that we have regularized prisons, doesn't mean that we don't still have the authority under law to protect ourselves, our families, and our property, even our communities. Nothing that the dads did was illegal. And I may prefer if they didn't do it, but what I would prefer is that the police do it. And I can guarantee you that so long as the police and the court systems do not deal with crime in a way that satisfies the public, and after all, it is the public that the police and the courts are acting on behalf of. It's not the criminal justice system. It's not the government. It's not the sociologists and criminologists who thought up the lenient theories that now run the judicial system and run the criminal court system. It's the public. And so long as the elites don't heed public wishes on criminal justice, you're going to see more and more and more of what I would call citizen patrols. This was not vigilantism. They were not armed. They were not carrying burning torches. They weren't trying to tar and feather someone and run them out of town. They were trying to bring a little bit of safety, security, and order to their communities. That's all those people want. That's all most people want. They don't want to see harsh penalties meted out on the streets to people who are caught vandalizing or shoplifting. But if authorities don't take it seriously, if we don't get changes in bail in this country, where automatically violent criminals are granted bail until their trials, and in many, many cases, they are committing crimes while they're awaiting trial on a previous crime. The violent crime rate in Canada, since the Liberals passed their bail reform in 2019, has risen 40%. Violent crime. And it's largely because of people who are charged with violent crimes, who've been released on bail, and who are committing other crimes while they're awaiting trial on their first crime. Even people with long lists of violent criminal offenses in the past are released on bail. And when they do go to jail, they don't go for very long because they are automatically released after a third of their sentence has passed. Until the powers that be take crime seriously, and until they start to listen to the public and the public's wishes on crime and dealing with criminals, you're going to see more of the Fort Langley dads across the country. For Post Media, I'm Lorne Gunter.